In a quiet garden where the silence of dawn would meet the morning dew, there lived a butterfly named Lumo. His wings were a masterpiece of nature, shimmering softly, painted in delicate shades of gold and orange. But beneath this beautiful exterior, his heart carried a quiet, persistent ache. You see, Lumo longed for something more than the nectar of the flowers or the dance of the breeze. He longed to see the sun. The other butterflies in the garden were a lively, joyful bunch. They fluttered from blossom to blossom, their wings a kaleidoscope of vibrant colors. They would often see Lumo perched on his favorite leaf, gazing up at the gray, overcast sky. "Why wait for the sun, Lumo?" they would chime, their voices like tiny bells. "There are so many blossoms to chase and wonderful winds to follow. Come play with us." But Lumo would only offer a gentle, knowing smile in return and whisper, more to himself than to them, "Because some dreams are worth waiting for, even if no one else understands." He didn't hold it against them. He understood their world. Their joy was in the immediate, the tangible pleasures of the garden. His was pinned to a hope that lay just beyond the clouds. Days melted into weeks, and the sky remained a stubborn, unchanging canvas of gray. Heavy, listless clouds hung low, jealously guarding the sunlight. The vibrant colors of the garden began to fade. The flowers, once so proud and bright, started to droop and wither, their petals losing their velvety texture. Even the winds, which once played so merrily, turned cold and carried a melancholic sigh. Through it all, Lumo's routine remained unbroken. Every single morning, he would fly to the same branch on the old willow tree, the one that offered the clearest view of the eastern horizon. He'd settle there, spread his beautiful golden-orange wings, and orient them toward the sky as if in silent invitation. He didn't fly far anymore. His world had shrunk to this single branch, this single act of faith. He just waited, quietly, faithfully, for the sun to return. One weary afternoon, a tired old bee, his stripes faded and his buzzing weak, landed on a nearby leaf. He looked at Lumo, his antennae twitching with a mix of pity and confusion. "Why do you keep waiting, little butterfly?" The bee buzzed, his voice raspy. "It's been so long. The sun has forgotten us. It's time to accept the gray." Lumo turned his head slightly, his gaze never leaving the sky. He replied softly, his voice full of a certainty that seemed to defy the bleak surroundings. "The sun never forgets, my friend. It just takes its time to find its way back." The bee just shook his head and flew off, muttering about foolish dreams. But Lumo's faith wasn't foolish. It was his anchor in a world that had lost its light. It was the only warmth he had. That very night, the sky's melancholy turned to fury. A fierce storm rolled through the garden. The rain didn't just fall, it poured in sheets, a relentless assault. The winds didn't just blow, they howled and shrieked, tearing through the garden with a vengeance, ripping leaves from their branches and petals from their flowers. The world became a chaotic symphony of wind and water. Throughout it all, Lumo clung desperately to his branch. He was soaked, shivering, and battered by the gale. The wind threatened to tear his delicate wings, but he held on, his tiny form a testament to unyielding resolve. He was shivering, but he was unbroken. When the storm finally exhausted itself, a profound silence fell over the garden. It was the silence of devastation. Broken branches littered the ground. The vibrant flower beds were now just mud and ruined stems. The garden looked broken, dull, and utterly lifeless. The hope that once bloomed there seemed to have been washed away with the rain. And then, it happened. A single impossibly thin sliver of golden light touched the distant horizon. Slowly, as if waking from a long slumber, the heavy clouds began to part, and the first warm, gentle ray of sunlight pierced through the gloom, falling directly upon Lumo's wings. In that instant, they didn't just shimmer, they blazed. They glowed with a brilliance that seemed to contain all the light he had waited for. It was brighter than ever before, as if the sun itself had been storing its light just for him, as if it had been waiting for him too. With a strength he didn't know he possessed, Lumo flexed his wings and rose into the morning air. He ascended into the golden sky, his wings catching the light like fire, painting the heavens with his color. And for the very first time, he wasn't chasing the sun. He was flying with it. He had become a part of the light he had so longed to see. Lumo's story teaches us something so important. It shows us that even when life hides the light, even when the world around us turns gray and cold, faith is what keeps us warm inside. Sometimes, the sun we are so desperately waiting for is simply waiting for us to be patient, to be resilient, to stay strong long enough to finally see it break through the clouds. So whatever clouds you may be facing right now, hold on to your branch. Keep your wings pointed toward the sky. Your sun is on its way. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories to inspire your journey. Until next time, stay strong and keep the faith.